Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be strapping on our, virtual hiking boots, I guess you could say.
Virtually hiking. I like it.
We're heading to the Andes Mountains in Peru. Specifically, we're going to be exploring the Cusco region, home to the legendary Machu Picchu.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't love Machu Picchu? Classic.
Right. But we've all heard about Machu Picchu, so trust me, we're going deeper this time.
That's right. We're not just looking at the destination today. We're going on the journey.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, so tell me more. What journey are we talking about?
The Salkantay Trek to Machu Picchu.
Okay, so the Salkantay Trek. For those of us who maybe aren't like seasoned trekkers out there, what exactly are we talking about? And how does it, like I know we hear about the Inca Trail, how does this compare?
So both the Salkantay Trek and the Inca Trail obviously lead to Machu Picchu, but they offer really, really different experiences. Imagine the Inca Trail kind of like, I don't know, a bustling highway,
Yeah.
packed with fellow history buffs.
Yeah.
It's iconic for sure, but it can get very crowded. The Salkantay Trek is more like, I don't know, taking the scenic route. It's more rugged, less traveled. It winds through these really diverse ecosystems. You're going from these towering peaks to lush cloud forests. It's really about the journey itself and this deep immersion into like the natural beauty of the Andes.
It sounds like maybe the Salkantay Trek is a good alternative for people who want a little more solitude and connection with nature.
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking for, right? So we're taking a look at this 5-day trek package from Get Your Guide today. And by the way, you can find a link to this in the show notes. But their description, I was reading through it and I was like, man, it really paints a picture. You see picturesque valleys, sacred mountains, even a Pachamanca barbecue. Okay, so first of all, you know me. I love a good food experience. Tell me more about this.
Okay, so this isn't just any barbecue. This is like a glimpse into the heart of Andean culinary traditions.
Okay.
They prepare this feast using an earth oven called a huatea.
What?
Huaea.
Right.
It's basically a pit lined with hot stones where they slow cook meats and vegetables, and they wrap them traditionally in banana leaves.
Oh, wow.
So imagine the aroma alone. But even beyond the flavors, the Pachamanca is all about community and sharing a meal that has connected like generations for centuries.
Yeah. Okay, you're speaking my love language right now. This is the kind of travel experience that just sticks with you. And speaking of unforgettable, this itinerary mentions, get this, camping facing Machu Picchu.
It's pretty epic.
I can't even imagine waking up to that view.
It's truly special. I mean, a lot of visitors only get to experience Machu Picchu like in a really tight time frame.
Yeah.
They're being herded through. But imagine waking up as the morning mist like lifts from this valley and it reveals this ancient city bathed in like the golden light of dawn. You're there. That's what makes this trek so unique. It's not just about like getting there. It's about slowing down, soaking it all in, connecting with like the history and energy of this place.
Wow. That sounds like a truly transformative experience.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic here for a second. This is a high-altitude trek in the Andes.
Yeah.
This isn't for the, faint of heart.
Right.
So what can you tell us about the physical demands? What are we getting ourselves into?
Right. Not for the faint of heart. I mean, the Get Your Guide listing even mentions, it says that this Salkantay Trek is, quote, physically challenging, but also doable, according to one reviewer.
Yeah, doable.
Doable, okay. But what advice would you give to someone who's, like, really considering this?
I think it's all about preparation,
Yeah.
knowing your limits. This trek takes you through some pretty high altitudes. We're talking like elevations over 15,000 feet.
Wow.
Yeah. So altitude sickness is definitely a real concern. Acclimatizing properly is like crucial.
Yeah,
I would recommend spending a few days in Cusco beforehand just to kind of adjust.
that makes sense. Because Cusco itself is at a pretty high elevation too, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like a good way to ease into it.
Exactly.
Okay. So I'm looking at the what to bring section here on this package. What are some like must-haves for a trek like this? What do we need?
Okay, so comfortable, broken-in hiking boots, non-negotiable.
Okay, yeah.
You don't want to be dealing with blisters when you're navigating those mountain passes.
No.
And, while the scenery might seem like a world away from technology and everything,
Right.
having extra batteries for your devices is actually a really good idea.
Okay.
I know it seems kind of counterintuitive. The listing mentions this, and it's not even just for capturing epic photos.
Okay.
Altitude can really drain battery life.
Oh, really?
And you want to make sure you have enough power for, navigation or in case of emergencies.
It's funny you mentioned that because I remember seeing like extra batteries on the list. And I was like,
Yeah.
what do I need extra batteries for in the Andes?
Yeah.
But you're so right. Being prepared is key.
Totally.
Speaking of prepared, what about respecting local customs and traditions? I imagine that's a pretty big part of traveling through a region like this, right?
Absolutely. The Salkantay Trek, it's not just about, you know, these stunning landscapes, right? It's
Mhm.
about connecting with that rich cultural heritage of the Andes.
Yeah.
And we talked about the Pachamanca barbecue,
Right.
participating in that tradition with respect, with understanding, like it adds another layer to the whole experience.
More than just the food.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. It's about appreciating those deep-rooted customs that have shaped this region, for centuries.
So it's really about like immersing yourself in the culture, not just observing it from a distance.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that the Get Your Guide listing kind of subtly hints at this in their like know before you go section.
Okay.
They emphasize, responsible travel, packing light, to respect the weight limits for the porters, for example, being mindful of the environment that you're trekking through.
Right. Sustainable tourism.
Yes.
That's something we should all be thinking about these days, especially in like, such a pristine and culturally significant environment.
Hmm.
It's amazing how these smaller details can really, like, I don't know, just enhance the entire experience, make it more meaningful.
Totally. It's all connected.
Wow.
Just like choosing the path less traveled, but like you're doing with the Salkantay Trek versus the more crowded Inca Trail. It allows you to just like appreciate the journey itself.
That's a really good point.
Hmm.
And, it makes me think about like the bigger picture of the Cusco region. We've been so laser focused on this trek, but like there's so much more to discover,
Well,
right?
yeah,
The
tons.
Get Your Guide listing alone, like under their top attractions and experiences, there's a lot going on beyond the trek itself.
Definitely. We've touched on the cultural richness, but I mean, this region is home to like otherworldly landscapes. Have you ever heard of Rainbow Mountain?
Oh, yeah. I've seen pictures. The colors are insane.
Right.
It looks fake, like it's not even real life.
It really does. It's like this testament to like the geological wonders of the Andes.
Wow.
And that's just one example.
Right.
The Sacred Valley. I
Yeah.
mean, with its like ancient ruins and these terraced hillsides, it's another must-see for sure.
It's incredible to, like, think about the history embedded in this region.
Okay.
Okay, so for our listeners out there who are maybe feeling inspired, to trade their daily grind for a little Andean adventure, what would you say is like the biggest takeaway from our deep dive today?
I think the key takeaway here is that travel at its core is about more than just, checking destinations off a list.
Right.
It's about choosing experiences that really align with your values, right? So if you crave solitude, connection with nature, the Salkantay Trek offers that, in spades.
Yeah.
And if you're drawn to like vibrant cultures, ancient history, I mean, the Cusco region has it in abundance.
I love that. So it's about crafting a journey that really, like, speaks to you on a personal level.
Exactly.
So as you're planning your next adventure, think about, what kind of experience is going to resonate with you? What's going to leave you feeling, I don't know, enriched, inspired, connected to something like bigger than yourself?
What stories are you going to bring back and share?
Now, those are questions worth pondering. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey to the Cusco region. And don't forget to check out our show notes for that Get Your Guide Trek link and all the other resources that we mentioned.
Until next time, keep exploring.
And happy travels, everyone.